youtube.com/JFreshOfficial. Let's get straight into it. One of the hottest records for you right now that's smashing up the clubs and the radio all over the UK is the Down On Me joint with 50 Cent. How did that collaboration come around?
Oh, it's crazy. You know, that it's actually my second single on my new album. 50 Cent, I definitely had already wrote the record without a second verse on it. And it's kind of crazy and ironic how on my first verse I was like, you know, let's go ahead and take 9 shots, we'll just call it 50. Without actually thinking about him on the song. And it was kind of crazy how when we reached out to him and he heard it, he embraced it. And now, you know, we've got more than a friendship than just an artist, musician standpoint. And man, it's been history ever since.
When we look at your latest album, there's literally 2 collaborations. The 50 Cent, also a Ludacris. Are there any more collaborations in the future you want to work on?
Oh, indeed. You know, I love creating, the art of creating, you know, and whomever's in there with me, like that makes it all the better. But yeah, Ludacris was actually, been a big fan of his for the last 10 years. He's been in the game as well, you know, and you know, it's just been a privilege and an honor to be able to work with him. He killed that verse on that song. And 50 Cent, like I said, did what he did, but definitely been a fan since Get Rich or Die Trying and the whole G Unit. I don't know, man. I look forward to the collaborations to come, because I feel like this is how I get to express, you know, how true of an art form I feel like I am as an artist, you know. And despite all the other odds or the disbelief, like this is exactly what I feel I've been put on this earth to do.
As an artist, you're multi-talented, a musician, a singer. Would you rather be known as a musician or as a singer?
Yeah, I'd say that. I'm a musician before I'm a singer, you know. Like, that's my heart, that's my soul, and I think from me being a musician, I've taught myself how to sing. So from the piano is my first love. All the other instruments, percussion especially, I've learned to pick up every percussion, from the snare to the drum set to the timbales to the congas to all. I was in a Latin jazz band and everything, and I feel like I picked up all those different rudiments, in which now I feel like my vocal could be it could be any instrument, and I allow it to. I think that's where I've been given a gift now.
Signing to Def Jam was a big move for you, but there's quite an interesting story about how that all came around, wasn't there?
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm from Chicago, big city, small world, of course, but very hating type of city. Like, you know, there's a lot of greats that come from Chicago. Like, you have your Kanye West or your Commons or Twista, Lupe Fiasco, and, you know, R. Kelly, who to me is the king of R&B. And since R. Kelly's come out, there hasn't been a real R&B male from the Chicago that's really internationally have gotten known or got signed to a major record label since him. And he's been out for over 15 years, you know, R. Kelly. So I think it means a lot to me, you know, to be able to break out of that bind of a local, you know, act. And, you know, Chicago, like I said, is one of the hated cities, and a lot of people would love to be in a position that I feel I put myself in. And you know, the story was pretty much, you know, I just was writing a lot of records. I started collaborating with Mick Schultz, and we've come up with a lot of records. And honestly, my goal was to try to place them for other artists. And once we took one record up to a radio station, and that was Birthday. No, it was actually My Ride. It was a song called My Ride, and it was starting to play in Chicago a little bit. Birthday Sex, we took it up there to him, and it was immediately placed into a rotation, in which the reaction, I felt it coming. Like, that's how big that record was. I started, you know, performing at that big roller skating rinks where it was thousands and thousands of people, and it was like pandemonium. So I was like, wow. And I think once that record began to do what it did, people started to take heed to me and reach out and trying to get me signed. And over about 2-3 months time period, it was a wrap. You know, Def Jam reached out, as well as almost every other label at the same, like 1 week. I don't know what I did that 1 week, but everybody was calling me 1 week, and I was like, what do I do? And L.A. Reid, I met him, and he heard not only Birthday Sex, but some more of my music. And to have him as a semi-fan at the time, it meant a lot, because he's been in the industry for a while. and I respect his ear, and he obviously heard what I believed in and believed in as well.
I might be a little bit biased here being based in the UK, but the UK talent, the UK underground talent is so strong at the moment. We mentioned earlier on in the interview about collaborations. Is there anyone from a UK angle, any UK artists or producers that you want to work with?
I think I met him one time when I came here last year. His name was Tiny Tempo. The records was like, man, I felt familiar with it. You know, I never had heard the songs before. I was in the club one time and the DJs were playing straight, you know, state music. State music. Now all of a sudden I heard the. I'm like, what is this? You know, and then next thing you know, people just went crazy. And I felt like I actually brought that song back to me, back to my city, you know, like playing it for people. And they're like, yo, this is hot. Like, this is what's hot. And I'm like, yo, it's, you know, from UK. I hope this guy makes it over here. This is the type of sound that I feel like the States would listen to. And so, you know, him, as well as it's some more artists that I feel like I don't know their name in particular, but I definitely know their songs. And I don't know, I began to become more of a pop. I began to get a better ear for pop music now. Like, I love it now. At first, I wouldn't really play it in my car like that. But now I find myself, you know, this time, baby, I'll be bulletproof. Like, that's like those type of records I love now.
Also, we asked a few people before the interview about some questions they might want to put for you. And the recurring question was, what do you do away from the studio, away from music? What do you do in your own time?
I kick it, man. I do what you do. I like to have fun. When I'm home, PS3, 2K11. I like to go bowling. I like to do things that I never thought I'd be able to do. Like, you know, if I had opportunity, I'd go like skydive, like, or something just very spontaneous that I never, you know, that I'd want to remember when I get older. Like, I've done that, you know. But I like to play basketball. That's probably one of my biggest hobbies when I'm home, just for a little cardio as well. When I'm with my guys, and if I don't have to go to the club, I don't. Obviously now that's part of my job, and it gets kind of old sometimes. But if I'm home, I just chill, man. You know, I just chill. I like to cook and kick it.
For a lot of your fans here in the UK, the first realization of who you were and what you were doing was about the record Birthday Sex. Now, there's a lot of comments attached to that record. Do you think guys in particular, they owe you some kind of percentage points, some kind of percentage cut, at least a little bit of money for getting lucky to the record Birthday Sex?
Yeah, I could say that. Like, I got lucky to birthday. Yeah.